Welcome to Kotor Montenegro. Today, we'll explore the historic streets of the medieval Old Town, grab some local seafood, and see some awesome landscapes inside the Bay of Kotor.
So we just got here in Kotor Montenegro, and it's really raining. Luckily, we're gonna get used to it, I'm sure. But the viewpoints might not have the best views.
In spite of the rain, we were determined to make the most of our day in Kotor and absorb as much of the history, landscape, and culture as we could. The town dates to the medieval period and is still super well preserved, including the city walls. Beyond the history, it's also located in the magnificent Bay of Kotor, where green mountains meet the ocean and are dotted with small towns along the coast. Our first stop is one of the top sites in the area, the town of Perast, and beside it, the Church of Our Lady on the Rocks. Legend has it that the island was made by sailors who found an icon of the Madonna and Child on a rock in the sea. Each time they returned from a successful voyage, they laid a rock in the bay. Eventually, the rocks piled up into the island we have today. The church was built in the 1400s.
Very windy. But we have the island stars as you can see.
The church that's visible today dates to the 1700s and has a collection of art including the 15th century icon known as the Lady of the Rocks. We didn't get a chance to check it out as it was closed so early in the morning. Nonetheless, the architecture and nature of this area made the trip 100% worth it. Check out the details on the church facade and in the courtyard here. Before driving back towards the city, we took a quick and rainy stroll through Perast. The town of Perast is straight out of a postcard. It's small and easy to walk through in a few minutes, but if you're like me, you'll want to keep stopping for photos. The Venetian-style architecture is out of this world. One of the top sites in Perast is the Church of St. Nicholas, the tallest building in the Bay of Kotor area. Only a short drive from Kotor, depending on traffic, Perast is a great place to include in your travel itinerary. After leaving the city, we drove through the town towards our next stop. The traffic was quite heavy as there's only one road along the sea. Our goal was to get a view of the city from the nearby mountains. For lunch, we wanted to eat outside of the city walls, where the restaurants would be a little cheaper. After wandering a bit, we ended up finding a nice spot near the sea, just north of the city walls. The seafood is definitely the most common food and was delicious. Expect to pay tourist prices for the meal though. This entrance to the town is called the Marine Gate. It dates to the Venetian period and it leads into the Square of the Arms. It really feels like stepping back in time when you look around at the restaurants, churches, and peer up at the city walls from within the city. In the Square of the Arms, you'll find a few cafes or bars. We did stop for a quick dessert there, and the pastries were pretty good. Like most tourist-friendly cities, you'll pay a premium for the shops in the main square, but the price for a nice view and shelter from the rain was worth it to us at the time. Apart from the ancient history, Montenegro also has an interesting history in the most recent century. A former Yugoslav state and then part of a union with Serbia, Montenegro gained its independence in 2006 and is in the application stage of joining the EU. In Kotor specifically, its popularity as a tourism hotspot has increased dramatically in the last several years. This has brought money into the city, but has also had the typical effect of rising prices, which have pushed out some locals. I wouldn't recommend too much shopping in the city, but we did find this cool antique store. That says antique store on it. They had a lot of cool art, some maps, knickknacks, and even a couple of vintage watches. One must-do activity in Kotor is to walk along the city walls. You can walk around most of the city, and there's some spectacular views. Getting to see the city from a higher viewpoint is pretty cool, and there's views on both the water on one side and the mountain on the other side. Overall, Kotor was a great stop, and our whole group really liked it. The combination of awesome landscapes, fascinating history, and great architecture makes this a solid stopping point on a Balkans vacation. Next time, maybe we'll even get to see some sun.